I'm delighted to be with you all. I'm Laura Schor. I was the founding dean of the Macaulay Honors College. The idea for the Honors College was the Chancellor's idea. I have to give him credit for it. He really wanted to do this. It was his idea. The Chancellor's opportunity that was offered me to become the founding dean was just perfect. I was thrilled. I knew that this was a good idea, that it could happen, that the students were there. I had no doubt that there were students on each of the campuses who merited being in an honors program. Starting any new program, I think whether it's a business or an academe, you have the traditional startup problems. You don't really have a staff, you don't really have a budget, you don't even have a location, and you have to do everything at the same time. You have to create an esprit de corps with people who are beginning to become part of a program, but you don't even have the whole program worked out yet. But what we had from the very beginning was a very clear vision of where we wanted to go. We knew that in almost every CUNY campus, and in every campus that is a non-honors program across the United States, students almost never graduated in 4 years. It took them 5, 6, or more years. So we knew we wanted this group to finish in 4. The students weren't aware of this, but there was a lot of skepticism in the community. Oh, this is another initiative that will die. It will never last. There was always a question asked to us at the Honors College, but basically asked to CUNY, why are resources going into this? These smart kids, they can go anywhere. They'll do fine on their own. And the answer that we gave is, yes, that's true. They will do fine on their own, but they'll do even better if they're in this special program that's geared to them. You want, we said to the city, these people to stay in New York, don't you? You want them to be the leaders of our city. These are smart New Yorkers. Don't you want to keep them? This is what we have to do to keep them. The first class, you had to have a lot of courage to say, yeah, I think I'd like to do that. These were risk takers. These were students who were willing to try a brand new program that no one had ever heard of before. The students in the Honors College were from the very beginning interested in each other. They wanted to understand who the cohort was, and they were determined to give back. From the very first semester, one of the students in the class announced that when she graduated, she was a first semester freshman, when she graduated she wanted to give back to New York City. That was really gratifying. Once it was clear that this is not only continuing, but it grew every year, the program expanded every year, the larger community said, okay, we want to be part of it, we want to be partners in this. We worked with several of our earliest donors, most of whom were themselves graduates of CUNY, and when we went back to them and said, you've been a donor to the program, we'd like you to set up internships for our students. They said, well, we do it for Harvard, we do it for Yale, we do it for Princeton, we've never done it here. And I said, okay, give us the same chance you give them. And if they don't match up, don't take them. If they do, do. They were very surprised after they interviewed our students. I want to tell you my dreams for the alumni first. For the students who graduated in 2005, I'd love to know what happens in the next 10 years with your lives, because you've made the transition from school to the next step. Most of you are either graduated from graduate school and working now. Some are still in graduate school, but you're at the beginning of your professional lives. 10 years from now, I expect to see you on the board of various museums and various cultural institutions in this city. I'm very, very optimistic about your future.